Recorded live with little or no editing, it's Roster Roast. I'm Run7. How you doing? Today we're going to be roasting Shultzy's defense. Now we grade on 5 different criteria. It's who you're using, their power levels, their placement, their ISOs, and what kind of mood I'm in. Now, I haven't had much time to look at his defenses, but we're going to jump right into it. At team number 1, Guardian's team. This is a standard Guardian team. Now he's using Gamora instead of Drax in here. He's probably trying for some offensive damage output, but Gamora isn't really a damage dealer. She's not a glass cannon. She's a glass squirt gun. I think the Drax version is better because it keeps people from coming in and just knocking Raccoon out of there right off the bat. I think you should be using Drax in there. Also, I think Groot needs to be on the inside, not the outside. You want him to die because he gives those boosts to the rest of the team. And a lot of times he'll just, revive himself. Otherwise, this is a filler team. It's something that Shultzy probably built up a long time ago, going into like DD3 or something like that. He probably, going for Star-Lord back in the day like people did. And it's a thing to do. You can put him in here and fill up space. He's got good power in it, so it requires somebody to come in with something kind of powerful, but you're basically going to have people pull in their dregs, come in with like a Young Avenger team or something and take them out. Just whatever's sitting at the bottom of your offensive list that has enough power to take these guys down. So as for ISOs though, okay, well, healer on your healer, of course. However, I think you need Skirmisher on Rocket and Groot. Yeah, I do Skirmisher on Rocket and Groot and Striker on Star-Lord. And 50% of the time, Star-Lord is calling an assist from Rocket. How does that work? No, that only works on the Technerva team. I mean, okay, yeah. The thing is, there's some triple and quadruple hit combos that you can pull off with the bottom 3 right there. If you do Skirmisher on Rocket and Groot and Striker on Star-Lord. But the thing is that he's got 2 more Guardians to call the assist in from, so it might be Gamora or, heaven forbid, Mantis. And then it's going to screw up that combo. So I guess we could do away with that one. Go Raider for Rocket on this composition because he's getting so many AoEs and splash damage. That's not bad. Healer on Groot is okay because he's not really doing much. He only has 1 attack. Skirmisher on Star-Lord is an interesting one. I guess you want those blinds to stick, but you'd have to be level 5 Skirmisher for that to really take an effect. So I think that you should go with Striker on Star-Lord or even Raider because he does chain attack. And then Gamora should also be a Raider because she chain attacks also. I mean, Striker works too, but you could actually do Skirmisher on her. And try and get her to clear some buffs or something like that. Honestly, it's kind of a trash team to be using, but since you've got them powered up so much, it's something to throw in here and fill a defensive slot. I'm going to give this team, I'm going to give it like a C-. The only reason you're getting that good of a grade is because you've already got so much power in this team, but don't invest any more in this team. I think you should run the Drax version in there. It makes it a little tougher to get through. Yeah, that's about it. All right. Next up, team number 2 is the Wave1 Avengers with Thor. I like this composition. I don't like your placement, and I don't like some of your ISOs. On this one, Thor should be a Raider, not a Striker. Black Widow and Hawkeye, Skirmisher Striker, that's fine. Healer on Captain America, and you should have healer on Hulk also. Yeah. Also, let's go with Captain America on the outside, next to Hulk, next to Black Widow or Thor. You could do either way, whatever your choice is. I like Black Widow in the middle because she goes under stealth, keeps chain attacks from going, but nobody's going into this team with chain attacks anyway, so that doesn't really matter. Everybody's just coming into this with that hella natural team and stunning the Hulk and stopping it. But you've got pretty decent power levels. I think you should bring your Hulk up. Your Hulk should be one of the biggest ones in there. You want him to try and resist that stun, and so you really need him up there and focus on his resistance stuff. If you're going to put a couple extra pieces of gear in him or something, make sure it's the ones that are going to boost his resistance, because that's where it needs to be at. So otherwise, it's a good comp. It's you got the right people. Placement sucks, and your ISOs are a little off. So I think that's a B- on that team. All right, AIMTron. Now this is more of an offensive team, but you know, if you're finding you don't need them on offense, then sure, throw them in here, whatever. You got Ultron replacing Monstrosity or Scientist. That works. Your power levels are interesting. I think you should bring up Graviton a little bit more. I mean, that's okay. I think you powered these people up probably for Dark Dimension, your Ultron and your Scientist Supreme. You don't need to invest any more in this team, that's for sure. As for placement, I would stick Scientist Supreme to the outside, and your Assaulter does speed up to adjacent characters, so he should be adjacent to 2 people, not on the outside. Your security over here is good because she heals adjacent, so that's good. I think you should put Assaulter in the middle. I think you should put Scientist to the outside. So just swap those 2. Let's take a look at these ISOs. Striker on Ultron is fine. Skirmisher on Assaulter is fine. Healer for Scientist Supreme is fine. Healer for your security is fine. And Raider for Graviton. I like those. That's good. Yeah, adjust your placement. I think this is it's a crappy defensive team, but if, like I said, if you're not using them on offense, then go ahead, fill a defensive slot here. You got pretty good power levels in here. People can't really, you know, they're gonna have to think when they come into this one, especially with Ultron being in there. That might actually soak up somebody pretty good. I'm thinking this is like a B. I think it's like a B team. It's like a B team, just for what you're using. The only thing, I just think you should be using a better team, really, but you know, swap that placement. I think it's a B. Okay, Mercs with Shuri and Killmonger. Right off the bat, I don't like your ISOs. I don't like your placement at all. Your placement's terrible. You're wasting characters here with this kind of placement. Okay. So the power levels are all right, although your lieutenant needs to come up a little bit. He's the weak link. He needs to be, you know, like 5% more powerful than Riot Guard, just because you don't want somebody coming in there and with an X-Force and knocking him down low in health. Yeah, okay, so your Taskmaster needs to be a Skirmisher, and all your other Mercs need to be Striker, except for you could change Riot Guard to a healer if you wanted to, and you could change Lieutenant to a healer if you wanted to, but I think they should all be Striker. Even Killmonger. I know Killmonger's got a lot of Raider synergy, but on this composition, you want him to be a Striker, because the point is, you're getting the assist from Taskmaster, and if Taskmaster comes out there and lays the vulnerable, then the other guy does a counterattack, and you get the 3-hit combo. You're getting lots and lots of damage. So change those ISOs, and your placement should be Shuri, Killmonger, then Lieutenant, then Riot Guard, and then Taskmaster. Riot Guard is putting off adjacent deflects, so he needs somebody adjacent to him. Lieutenant is doing heals to adjacent, and so he's healing Shuri, which she's not even being targeted because, one, she's the biggest person on this team. She's going to have defense up most of the time, and she's a healer herself. No one's targeting her. Everybody leaves her for last. So, yeah, move that placement around. It's a great team. This is my favorite composition for the Mercs. It's just your placement, your ISOs are really bad. Your power level's good, other than maybe touch up that Lieutenant a little bit more. I think when you get the last star on him, he should be fine. I'm going to give you a C for this team. You're making some mistakes here. All right, next up, Doc Ock, Sinister 6. Yeah, I don't like Fortifier on your tank, and I don't like Mysterio on this team. He's a liability. People come in with the symbiotes, kill Mysterio, and then kill his summons and gain all that turn meter, and then they're able to control this team. So get rid of Mysterio, put in Vulture or Green Goblin, whoever has the highest red stars, or, you know, whatever has the highest investment for you. You can keep Rhino adjacent to Dr. Octavius, although I think if you're going to have Ock up here in the corner, you should put Rhino to the outside, and then he's cleansing Doc Ock still, but he's also off to the side with his taunt. Unless you're looking to cleanse Swarm, Not really sure, but that's okay. Just change his ISO. He doesn't need Fortifier. Make him a healer. Let's see. You got Striker, Raider, Healer, Skirmisher on him. Otherwise, those ISOs are pretty good. Otherwise, yeah. So change your placement. Change that one ISO. It's a good team. Your power levels are good enough. Get rid of Mysterio. That's a C+. Okay. Here's an interesting thing. Now, normally I would say this team sucks. It's terrible. Get rid of them. It's horrible. You need to replace it with the Inhumans hybrid with Coulson or something like that. Here's the thing. The defensive meta is changing now with Heroes for Hire, and this team is big enough it's going to require a big Brotherhood or a Zemo in here, and people are going to be wanting to save, especially their Zemo, for other teams. So at this, you know, pretty monstrous power level, 450 for this team where we're fighting is actually really good. You got some decent red stars on some of these. Operative in here is probably the wrong choice. She's got major red stars, and that's cool, but she's not doing a lot for the team other than putting somebody under stealth like one time. And that is frustrating for sure, but if you're going in with the Brotherhood, that doesn't really matter because Pyro is splash damaging everybody anyway. So get rid of her, put Assaulter in there, make Assaulter a Raider. You want all that crit damage. Make everybody Raider except for Medic, and you could keep Shield Security as a Raider also, and or as a healer. Medic and Shield Security as healer. And that'll give you some sustainability, but that Raider is going to make everybody crit, make the team move faster, rewind turn meter, all the little things that they do. It's been a while since I've gone over their kits. I don't remember exactly what they do, but you want them as Raider. Your positioning is fine. Oh, no. You want to have a Medic where Operative is, and you're going to have Assaulter where Medic is. And then otherwise your positioning's okay. I used to say this team was terrible and you need other stuff in here, but you know, we're saving Black Order for Heroes for Hire now, or not Black Order. We're saving Black Bolt for Heroes for Hire now, and so you don't want to do that hybrid anymore. With this kind of power level, you're actually soaking up some offensive teams that could be used elsewhere. So it's not so bad anymore. It's a scrub team. It's gonna get killed, like it's gonna get one shot. However, it's probably going to soak up some offensive teams that are needed elsewhere. So I kind of like this. Change Operative to Assaulter. Fix the placement of those two characters up there. Change him to a healer. Everybody else needs to be Raider. So I'm going to give you a B- for this team, actually, which is probably the highest grade that Shield team's ever going to get. But it's the things are changing right now, so it's actually it's a useful piece to have. Okay. Team number 7, Emmarauders. Yeah, it's good. You get an A. Good job. Everything's right. Yep, that's how you do it. Okay, team number 8, Black Order. So I see some people doing this lineup with Black Order. I like Thanos next to Cull because then as they're forced to hit Cull Obsidian, they're getting that splash damage onto Thanos, which then makes Cull retaliate, and you get more damage out of the team. Plus, Thanos can usually take those hits. You've got a fully developed Thanos, so he should be able to handle it. Maybe make him like a level 5 healer for defense. That'll really give him that health. And then he's giving the rest of the team much more sustainability. Otherwise, this is at best a 2-shot defense. Most of the time, people are just going to be taking in their Black Order and taking it out. Striker Skirmisher combo on the married couple. Healer there. You don't need Fortifier on Cull Obsidian. You just don't. You just don't. If anything, you can put Fortifier on Thanos and stick him next to Cull Obsidian, and then that makes sure that Thanos doesn't die right away. But I think you should make Thanos a healer and make Cull Obsidian either a Raider, a Striker, or a last choice would be a healer, just for that extra sustainability on defense. But yeah, otherwise it's really good. This is a B+ team right here. There's Black Order is one of those teams you can do it 100 different ways. They're just going to come in with their Black Order and wait for the flip and hit auto. All right, overall, that was a pretty good defense. Lots of power in this one. Lots of power. Look at these. All these guys in 400s or near 400. Looking really good. I like it. If you like what you see, please leave a comment down in the descriptions. Let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. Sometimes I read that stuff. You never know. Otherwise, give it a like. Subscribe for more of these videos. I try to put them out every week. And yeah, thanks for joining us today. So don't just have a good game. Be good to each other, too. Bye.